go, fanboys and fangirls. We are live at AwesomeCon where everything is awesome. This is Fantastic Forum, and I'm your host for today's show. I am Patrick Michael Strange, but I have more awesome guests besides myself, swagger. I got my girl Billie on today's show, my man Maurice, and my dude Zach. We are going to talk about subscription TV versus broadcast TV. Subscription TV, i.e. like Netflix, where we have Daredevil, we have Jessica Jones, and I think the upcoming Defenders, and hopefully Luke Cage. I don't know if they said we were going to get that yet.
Luke Cage is after AKA because they've already got him cast.
Right. Okay. Awesomeness coming at you from Netflix, and versus broadcast TV, where we have some really cool things coming on. It's really a good time to be a geek right now. Where we got Legends of Tomorrow, the next season of Arrow, which I think they're going to change to Green Arrow from what I understand.
Yeah, and then there's
Flash and Supergirl.
and Agent Carter.
Yeah. Hello.
So much.
So we're putting subscription TV versus broadcast TV. Where do y'all weigh in on that competition before we kind of break it down into the different services on both, or shows on both?
I think it depends on what you want. Like, I mean, I know that's kind of a very vague answer to give, but do you want something that's more adult, that's meant to go and make you think a little bit more, be a little bit more engaging, or do you want to be able to kind of turn your brain off and watch something? Because there's a difference between what you get on HBO or Netflix, because even going outside of like Daredevil and all that, you have House of Cards, you have Amazon has the transgender show with
the Hulu and Amazon. There's a lot of
this
channels
as well.
Besides Netflix.
They can go further than like your network, where it's more like, they have to cater to like almost like a family show. Like, because with Agents of Shield, I wanted it to be more like the movies, but they had to make it like more just friendly to like everybody. So it's tough, man. It's tough.
Agents of Shield is one of those weird shows where it as much as it is a superhero show,
right,
it's really that spy cartoon you watched in the 80s, except it's live action now. And you kind of have to take it with that grain of sand, and that's where you get the enjoyment.
But before we go into the separate individual shows, I want to kind of get a vote off the top, and then at the end we'll get our final vote after we kind of deliberate by kind of pleading the case for each arena. Okay. So, starting with you, Zach. Subscription TV versus broadcast TV. What's your vote right now?
I'm always going to go subscription because they're able to do more. I mean, HBO and Cinemax and Netflix, and they're always able to just push the boundaries more. Look at The Wire, look at The Sopranos, look at Oz, look at all that stuff they did. You can do more there.
Got you. All right.
I'm in the same boat. I'd rather buy it, subscribe to it, because I'll pay for the good content. Even though content on network is good, but subscription, I get a little bit more. As an adult, I want that real life adult stuff I do.
All right, 2-vote subscription. What about you, Billie?
I'm going to go broadcast. I am so happy with what I have on broadcast TV. I love Gotham, Arrow, Flash. Watch them all the time. I'm going to watch Supergirl. I'm going to watch Legends of Tomorrow. I think they got great content. There's so much to choose from. I can hardly keep up with my DVR. I don't need anything else. I cannot take any more TV shows. I don't have any room in my schedule.
All right, well, I can't give a breaking vote. I'm going to have to follow Billie because there's a lot more shows on broadcast than there are on the subscription services.
A lot more commercials too. I hate commercials, man.
Oh, well, that's
so
the downside.
let's do this now. Let's transition since we're split on the vote.
Okay.
Let's have somebody argue for subscription and we'll argue for broadcast.
Right.
You want to start? Go.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I would go ahead and argue for subscription is that that's the model we're going to anyway. Okay. As much as we do have network where you can still get it on air over satellite or over all the different places you can, we're going to an actual subscription base. Take a look at the fact that HBO, even though only way you used to be able to subscribe to it is by having a cable show or cable content.
Now you cut the cord, you get HBO Now.
Exactly.
$15, you buy it yourself.
Exactly, and we're going more towards that. Netflix was the first step. Hulu was another step. Amazon Prime is another step.
Right. They got Yahoo Screen now too.
Yahoo Screen. I mean, it's now going to the point where we're eventually just going to get to where everything's going to be subscription. You're going to go, am I more of a basketball fan or am I more of an NFL fan? Do I want to go ahead and watch ABC or NBC? And I think that's the model we're going to. So I think the idea of network versus subscription is different. Okay. So subscription is where it's at, and as they do that, you're going to see more stuff.
Right. And they can take more chances because the show Community started off on network. Network didn't give it too much of a chance. Now it's going to be on Yahoo. Even like the Mindy Project was on network. Fox dropped it. Now it's going to be on Hulu. So network.
Billie, argue our point.
Yeah.
Represent for broadcast TV.
Definitely. definitely in recent years, we have seen the way that we watch TV change so much with the internet, with DVDs, with everything coming out on DVDs. We binge watch now. I love binge watching stuff. So definitely the way that we are watching TV now has changed, but I don't know if everything's going to become subscription. It might go in the opposite direction. We might have easy access to everything. Everything might become free because you're always going to have advertisers. And what you said about the commercials, oh my gosh, the commercial breaks are getting so long. It's like 4 minutes of TV show now, and then 4 minutes of commercial, and
you're on our side now then.
no, it's just one downside.
Oh, okay, I thought you
coming on to my beloved broadcast TV
come to the
is
dark
that
side. Come
the
to the dark
commercials are
side.
just out of control. But what I'm saying is that there'll always be advertisers. They'll always
Yeah,
pay
no,
the bills.
I understand that. Yeah.
Because Hulu's kind of doing that now. We already have the advertisers going on where you're still paying a monthly fee, but they're still getting ad revenue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why I went with broadcast over the subscription TV. There's more. Again, actually I did say it earlier. There's a lot more content. We have like Supergirl, we have Gotham. There's a plethora. While we just have Netflix, we don't have really a lot of the other subscription TV companies buying in with this stuff yet, with more additional content. So that's why it got my vote. But I will say for you guys in subscription TV, I loved Daredevil. I've only seen the first 3 episodes, but it's a quality and it's that I think kind of supersedes a lot that we are getting on broadcast TV.
The next 7 episodes. Like once you get to like episode 10, you're gonna be like, you're gonna be. You can't wait till the next season. Like definitely, man.
I read something when they were talking about like Marvel and doing these TV shows, and when they were reviewing the series as a whole, and they said this is the most accomplished thing Marvel's created, and it really is. When you go back and watch it, you see the quality that goes across the board, whether it's in the fight scenes, like that hallway fight scene in episode 2, that 5-minute single shot where he's just the little things like his punches lose.
Can I spotlight episode 2 real quick? You brought it up. For you filmmakers out there, if you haven't seen episode 2 of Daredevil, there's towards the end of the episode, Daredevil is making his way through this hallway, and it seems like one long continuous cut. And Daredevil's like falling back. He's dead tired. He's been beat up throughout the entire episode.
He's on the wall like
making his way through the fight choreography. Shout out to the fight choreography on that episode. But makes his way through, and at the very end, as a true hero would do, he's getting ready to open a door to where a kid is hurt or just is inside and is held captive. He brings it up his mask, so that way the kid will know he's okay. Just amazing stuff.
That show, that episode also has my favorite line in the entire episode, the most Daredevil line in it. It's when he's on the roof after they've gone through the first round of interrogating the mobster. And Rosario Dawson goes to him and goes, all I know is that you're a man that's very comfortable with taking a beating, and just without missing a beat, just goes, well, that's the Catholicism. I had a flashback to like the Frank Miller's writing and all that sort of stuff.
That's where they pulled it from. They pulled it off from Frank Miller.
All right, guys, we are going to continue this segment right after this. We are coming at you live at AwesomeCon 2015, where everything is awesome. You are watching fantastic and raw.
Awesome and amazing and beautiful and all.
Hi, Mike Zipster here with FF. And with me is none other than the marvelous actress, Georgina Haig. Georgina, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
And we're here at AwesomeCon, where you are one of the guests.
Yes.
And having a good time?
Oh, it's amazing. It's my first time to DC as well, and DC's beautiful, and yeah, it's just great to be here.
Did you get to go see any of the sites, or have you just been here at the con?
No, I've seen some sites, and I've eaten at some amazing places, and yeah, it's an awesome place. I can see what AwesomeCon. It's a good name.
Yeah.
Good name for a con in DC for sure. Yeah.
Well, let's move on to your coming to the U.S.
Yes.
And the first thing you did here was
Fringe.
Was Fringe.
Yeah.
Which big cult hit in this country.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah, and you played Etta in that.
Yeah.
The daughter.
Joshua Jackson was my dad.
Yeah.
And I was a Dawson's Creek fan, so I kind of flipped out a little bit. It's just sci-fi, sci-fi, you can end up anyone's daughter, anyone's dad, you can die, come back to life. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
In my case, Joshua Jackson was my dad. Think about fantasy, it's very open to the imagination and doing different things. Yeah.
And you had an amazing death scene.
Oh, thank you.
In
Fringe.
In Fringe, where you were brutally murdered, sacrificed yourself in a way.
Yes, I sacrificed myself. Yes.
And you were,
Apparently, it made it into the top 25 television deaths of all time.
as it should have been.
Thank you. I know.
guess.
I'm trying to think of some other great TV deaths. I was just happy to get on the list. Put that on my resume, maybe. You know,
Yeah.
really good at dying on screen. So I think I self-combusted or something like that.
Well, you were
Don't ask me to do that right now. I'm not sure how
you
I
have
could
to
probably
take some time to get the motivation for it.
Yes.
But this was one of the shows that you came into in the middle of the run. I mean, it had been, it's what, the fourth season?
Yes, I've been going for four and a half seasons when I came in.
And so you have to come into a show where everyone's there, it's established, they've got their own little things going on, and then the new girl comes in.
Yeah, except I guess the difference with Fringe was that a lot of the lead characters, well, Anna, who's the lead of the show, she wasn't actually in for 19. So it was weird. I kind of came in and had to, do the sort of things that she had been doing on the show. And it must have been really strange for the crew, like just having this random, at least I'm a blonde Australian as well, so maybe it wasn't that random at all. But it was nerve-wracking coming on in the middle, and it was my first job overseas. But I had very supportive people helping me. John Noble, who's a brilliant actor and plays Walter in the show, he was lovely and just took me aside and said, ask me anything. And he said, we move really fast, but go with your instincts. And just was, it was just so lovely to have that support. And especially for my first job overseas, because I was nervous. Yeah.
And let's move on to Once Upon a Time, which you, I believe, auditioned for on your honeymoon?
Yes, on an island. Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, explain how that
it's kind of
works.
confusing, I suppose. But I do a lot of self-tape, so I set up a camera and get someone to read with me and send off an audition over the internet. We're so lucky to have that internet, aren't we? But I was on my honeymoon, and my brand new husband very kindly helped me. He read Anna and I read Elsa. And we fitted it in between like our scuba diving lesson and, the brunch or whatever. And we sent it off, and we then actually went camping in the rainforest, and no one could get a hold of me. And then when we got back to civilization, my agent was like, they want to see you another tape for Elsa, and we had to do it again. And anyway, a week later I was in Vancouver, and a day later on set, there was not much preparation time at all. It was very fast, which again was, nerve-wracking.
It must have been scary, because you're not only coming into an established show, you're coming in with almost no time for prep, and you're having to play a character
very iconic
that is
character.
Iconic and just beloved by
you really don't
young
want to stuff that up.
girls all over the world.
Yeah, I was quite overwhelmed with that feeling of responsibility. I just wanted to get her right, but I also wanted to, make her really relatable and humanize her. And I think I experienced some of the anxieties that Elsa experiences when she runs up to her ice palace. I really did feel a real anxiety because she is so iconic. But in a way, that anxiety was really helpful, especially in playing a character like Elsa, who has her own anxieties. I was able to use my own feelings to kind of connect to her, and that's what I tried to do. And also, when you get given the dress and the shoes and the hair and the makeup, the whole preparation takes about 2 hours to do everything. That gives you so much of the character. There's only a certain way you can stand when you're wearing a corset and heels, as you know, Mike.
Yes.
So that was very, very helpful to me. It gave me a lot of what I needed to find her. Yeah.
Anything specific coming up next, or you just
I just did a
auditioning?
pilot for the CW, which is set on Mars. It's about colonizing Mars, so I got to be an astronaut, so that was pretty fun.
Did you get to wear the whole suit?
Yeah, it was
right.
heavy, and we were wearing full packs, like oxygen packs that were really heavy, and then the helmets are really heavy. It was really full on, but fun, but hard work, especially when you're out in the desert and it's hot. We filmed in Albuquerque. Yeah, it was a lot, but yeah, good experience for sure. Yeah. And I just did a comedy show in Australia called No Activity, which I'm not sure if you can get over here, but
somehow. It's the internet.
Guys, there's the internet. You can get everything.
You can get anything you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I want to just thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule here at AwesomeCon to join us.
No, it's my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to the con because it's been fantastic. Yeah.
Well, that's it for FF. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, guys, while everything is still awesome, we are here at AwesomeCon 2015. We are fantastic. This is the Fantastic Forum Show. I'm Patrick with Billie, Maurice, and Zach. We are talking about subscription TV versus broadcast TV. I want to bring up binge watching, y'all, because being with all the things that I do, it's really when I binge watch is when I actually get all the content. I'm not watching it when it's airing at first. So I just caught up on Flash. I have the last episode to watch on that. Really digging it. Let's talk about binge watching. How about you guys?
Well, I mean, binge watching is kind of that's what this medium, the paid medium, is built for.
Yeah.
That's why HBO Go has become so successful. It's the fact that I never got a chance to watch The Wire live, or I didn't catch any of The Sopranos live. I can now go to my console or go to my Apple TV or any place I can get it and just sit down, and that's my weekend, or that's my vacation.
Yeah, it's not just the new stuff; it's the old stuff too.
Yeah.
Like the Netflix and Hulu Plus and whatever, having a whole series of something that maybe aired 10 or 20 years ago, but I get to discover it. So.
Yeah, or if you have like a really good friend who hasn't seen the show before, say, dude, take a day, watch the whole show.
A weekend.
Call me when you're finished, and then we can talk about like in depth. Like, so definitely binge watching is like it's great for that. Like, so you get caught up really fast.
Fun. It's kind of a good way to hang out with all your friends.
Just watch all of them in one day. Watch all of them.
Not just that, there's also the rediscovering stuff. Last night before I went to bed, I ended up watching Cheers. I haven't seen an episode of Cheers in 15 years.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting down watching it and enjoying it. I'm going, this is what I remember. This was great about it. So that's the other part of Netflix, where you have that ability where, yes, you can binge everything and you can see everything.
Well,
and like
there's the on-demand quality. Okay, so subscription TV is on-demand. You have the on-demand element, which is wonderful.
Yeah,
but
now,
I have my DVR on the broadcast, so I'm on demand too. I don't watch anything when it actually is airing. I watch everything off my DVR. So I'm on demand too. So, you know.
Now
Just get Netflix.
Transition a little bit from the subscription TV, well, the binge watching aspect of it. I think the biggest element that separates subscription TV versus broadcast TV is that it's a paid service with subscription TV. Are you willing to pay that money for subscription TV?
Are you really going to use it? Like, if you put out that money, are you really going to watch it?
Has Netflix sold you with Daredevil and what the content they have provided?
Even before Daredevil, Netflix sold me in the idea that you didn't have to have your the DVD. Like, I'm a Battlestar Galactica fan. That was on there for years. I didn't have to have the seasons of it. I could just, at any point in time, click, watch, Boomer. Everyone find out Boomer's a Cylon. Well, I could watch all that, and that was a bigger selling point. The new content, that's just bonus now. Now they're going out there, they're taking the money they've made off people like me to bring in the people that are the network guys.
It's not even really that expensive. Netflix is the price of a good sandwich.
Yeah.
$10 is a good sandwich. And that's just $10 a month. I'll do that. It's a great, tasty sandwich full of episodes, movies, and TV shows. So yeah, I'll pay for it. I'll buy it.
Well, I feel you on the quality level, and they're giving us a good sandwich.
Yes, it's a great sandwich.
Let's go. When we were battling subscription versus broadcast. Argue our point.
Okay,
Billie.
what about the blood and gore aspect? Because some may argue that subscription TV, like the HBO, some of the HBO series, they're going gorier, they're going bloodier. But you know what? I have my Walking Dead. I love my Walking Dead. That's AMC. That I don't pay anything extra on that. And man, that is as gory can get.
Yes.
So they are edgy. They go places where other shows don't go.
I think Maurice is coming to our side now.
I'm coming aside, but I'm saying like the network is going further because they have to. They have to keep up with subscription because people want that adult, like that real content. So like any show, like say like Walking Dead is one of them. What's another one? Let's say even like a TV show that has more like content, like as far as like sexual content, like scandal,
like edgier content, riskier content, subject matter that's not for kids.
With the violence and everything, and the way they did it. I will say this about network TV. Network TV is always the place to go, and you brought it up earlier, Patrick, when you said that there's more content, there's more channels, there's more stuff available. Walking Dead was originally pitched to HBO. HBO passed on it because they thought it was too expensive. It's now the biggest show on all of TV. Yeah. And imagine, would it have been as big on HBO? Would they have even tried to do the stuff they've done on HBO, or would it be lazier on HBO?
And what's amazing about that show, you know, it's gory. We can talk about the violence and all that, but it really is about the human beings. It's about the human aspect. It's about human survival. And actually, there's nothing real edgy or risky or risque or anything about the themes that they propose and they show as human beings. It's about human beings surviving. So, you know, I love that part of it.
I thought of something as a filmmaker myself. With the internet and YouTube and Vimeo, the fan films. So kind of like a wild card. Do you think they're a legitimate competitor to give you other kind of stuff that we're not getting on broadcast?
Star Trek.
And subscription.
Look at the Star Trek fans.
There's some awesome fans.
They are doing a great job with that.
The Power Rangers one just recently, which was pretty incredible, like for a fan.
To be able to do it, it depends on the people behind it. If you have people that are talented, because here's the thing, the next generation of talented people aren't necessarily going to come from film school or come from the key grip that's working with Martin Scorsese. Someone's going to see what they did on, like you said, VO or on YouTube, and they're going to go, I want that person. That person has obviously a clear idea that's going forward. When you look back at the 90s, a lot of the filmmakers that we see now came from music videos. And that was their way to go ahead and kind of show what they could go ahead and do.
I think Michael Bay started on music videos, right?
What was that?
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay, Mick G, who did the two Charlie's Angels movies. I feel the guy who did the Hulk movie with Edward Norton. He was another one that was a music director video. You have a lot of these guys that they were the ones that kind of moved forward, and I think the next generation of that is going to be your.
So would you say these YouTube filmmakers have legitimacy as a wild card contender?
I think it depends on quality. I think it's hard to give a blanket yes or no.
Because there's a lot of stuff out there that,
they found Bieber on YouTube.
Sorry?
They found Justin Bieber on YouTube.
They gave us the Bieber.
Oh, there you go.
When there's a world is away.
Was Taylor Swift from YouTube as well? Wasn't she
And
caught
Soulja
singing
Boy,
or something?
all that stuff.
So where do you guys project now where we're going to go with this battle? Subscription TV versus broadcast TV. Do you think we're going to get more that besides Netflix, some of these other guys seeing how awesome Netflix has
I think people are going to do like come on our side and get TV and like subscription like a la carte. They're going to like pick what they want and buy it because we don't need 200 channels. We just want just like the shows to be like any person you buy like maybe 4 or 5 channels and you like watch shows all the time. So just buy it a la carte for $20.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think we go as far as bandwidth allows us. I think that becomes the big question. It's no longer which is going to win out. It's which are we going to be able to do? Are we going to have the bandwidth to support the idea of an ABC app, an NBC app, a CBS app, a PBS app, all these different places where you'd have to pay on? Are we going to be able to have the infrastructure to run all that? Because if we're able to go ahead and run all that, that would be the big change.
With Netflix having the Marvel kind of exclusive, do you want to see like DC get on with one of these subscription services or at all? Do you want to?
I might be
want to
one
see, like,
over to that
DC
side
image.
if there was something really juicy DC on a Netflix or an Amazon Prime or something like that. I might come over.
If any DC character that would be like on Netflix, I think Gotham should be on Netflix because they could probably go further with it rather than being on Fox where. If Gotham was on Netflix, it'd be a whole different show.
Really? How so?
It'd be almost like how Daredevil can get that more heavier content. It's on Fox, but it's not as heavy. It's not as heavy as I want because Gotham is a rough place. And this is before Batman. And then this is why he had to become Batman.
So you're saying with the writing, not necessarily the production values, but with the writing, because that's what appeals to you about Daredevil. It's more the writing than the production values, right?
So I was about the heaviness of the show. Like I said, Gotham City, as they portray it, should be a little bit heavier. But it's on network, so they can't go as far as they want to go.
Interesting.
I think y'all miss me. I want some DC content that are adult, but I also want beyond just Marvel and DC, Dark Horse, Valiant. I would love to see some of these other
stuff.
Look at what's getting ready to happen at AMC. You're about to have Preacher show up on there, and regardless who's making it, Seth Rogen and that whole set, they're doing a book that HBO couldn't get on. Because they were too afraid of the content. Again, we keep going back to HBO being the one turning stuff down. But you have HBO now, you have AMC taking the chance on this. And I don't know how they're going to be able to work that around, but they obviously find a way. And I think that's going to be the turning point is can we take books like Chew. Chew has been in production hell forever as an animated show. Great book, great, but it's not on TV yet, and it's something that really lends itself to it. Why the Last Man? That's something that should be a movie. It should be a TV show or a miniseries. Like, I think it's going to depend a lot more on how this stuff does as it starts happening. As the independent books start to show up more and the support we show for it, they'll start mining those products for more ideas.
All right, let's wind down and come up with our final arguments and then take another vote again. Where do we stand after all of this battle in regards to subscription TV versus broadcast TV?
I'll start. I'll say this. You get what you pay for. You spend money on good stuff, you'll get good stuff. Free is free. You take it from there.
All right, Billy, what is your thoughts? Well, actually, let those guys finish up, and then we'll speak on regards to
Right, we'll have the final statement.
Exactly, we get the final
Tell them that they get what they pay for. Tell the good folks out there.
The biggest thing is when it comes to pay, it's not just you get what you pay for. Everything eventually shows up there. Whether it, like I said, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is on Netflix now. You can watch all of season 2. The pay model is the future because that's where we're going. There's going to be less and less first run watching and more binge watching. And so it's just kind of time to accept that and let it happen.
Accept it.
I could see the opposite. I could see things evolving to more things being easily accessible and not being paid.
And I would say in regards to broadcast TV, I think our vote is still going to be split. I think the other companies that I'm looking for, I want some Valiant, I want some Image Dark Horse shows. They're not going to go the subscription route yet because they want to reach wider audiences. So we'll get like some of the other cable stations giving us that content. And so again, I think we'll have more content on the broadcast side than we'll get on the subscription side. All right? Hey. Pay for it.
You pay for it.
We're popping bubbles. We got bubbles flowing. We are live at Awesome Con 2015 where everything is awesome, but we keep it fantastic over here at Fantastic Forum. Shout out to Zach over there at the end. Thank you for coming on, my man Maurice and my gal Billie. We appreciate you for checking in with us again on Fantastic Forum. Tune in on www.fantasticforum.tv where you can catch all of our past episodes and check us out on whatever cable station that you're at in your area to check us out again. All right, thank you all for following us and watching us. Fantastic Forum.
Peace.
Later.
Join the Fantastic Forum fan community on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for all the latest news and updates.